One of my first projects when I came here to the desert, got a call to work on Madonna Confessions, on the tour projections. And they wanted me to do Get Together. And then they wanted me to also do the intro, the opening, and they had $10,000 for 49 minutes worth of screens. That's probably not a me thing. I was really fragile at this time. I did also move away to process everything that had happened. I hadn't really mourned the loss of my sister. My movie had exhausted me, and I had exhausted promoting my movie to where I wanted to promote it. I did go to Vancouver to perform live at their Gay Pride Festival at Rapture Black in 2004, and that was crazy. I wanted to experience recording my own dance single and performing live, and I had bronchitis that night. I also refused to even have a shot of alcohol or any kind of drugs. I was like, oh, I'm going to experience it sober. I want to experience what it feels like to perform for people. Big mistake, huge. Like, just not it at all, but at least I got to experience it. They were really sweet to me in Vancouver, really, really sweet. They built me my own custom stage that matched my movie. Celeste came with me. Nuts. But on Madonna Get Together, on the projection edit, I worked with my friend David, who I know from Cal Arts, and he was my fun art making partner at this point. I would feed him the source video, and then he would feed that through different kaleidoscopic effects. Madonna wanted kaleidoscopes for Get Together. This was using the footage that Stephen Klein had shot when he was shooting the album artwork. And so I got to go through and pick all cool stuff and feed that to David and then re-edit it to the music. And I sent it off to Madonna, and she was like, well, I would love you to come to the chateau where we're working on all the projections with the different editors in different rooms. You're way out in Palm Springs. We'd love you to come here. I did take the job, explaining to the producer that I wouldn't be available to come into LA. I was on a mental health break at this time, sabbatical of sorts. I was trying to process everything and allow myself the emotional space to do that. And of course, I'm not going to turn down a project with Madonna, but it did have parameters for me. And so I reminded them, hey, you know, Madonna now wants me to go and sit with her at the chateau. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that at this time. But I can send you the sources of all of the kaleidoscope stuff that my artist has created. You just swap them out. She just wanted to swap out kaleidoscopes. It was a little too fast in some spots, and she didn't want it to pull focus from her on the stage. So not easy peasy, just slowing them down in a few sections, and there were slower ones. And it was a matter of like her personal preference, and she just wanted to do it in person. So they asked one of the other editors who was doing one of the other projections to do it, and it turns out that it was this guy named Clark Eddy, who I knew from Nancy Bennett and Zeitgeist. He was one of her directors. And he'd always been real nice to me, and so I thought, oh, this is great. Clark Eddy, I'm going to send it to you guys. Clark will just swap him out with you. He'll sit with Madonna. Of course, I would have loved to have sat with Madonna, but I was choosing me at this time, and I really, really did have to do that. I'd closed AVIDDIVA to choose me, to choose going forward in my life in a more positive, healthy direction. I knew I wanted to quit smoking, which eventually I did, but it took a long time. And I wouldn't have been able to do the changes that I needed to make in my life to manifest new stuff if I didn't carve out time for myself to do that. And so this was me doing that, trying to stand up for myself, trying to, carve out my mental health break time. I sent the tapes in, and Madonna sat with Clark Eddy and did the changes. And it turns out, like maybe, 6 months later, maybe 8 months later, I'm back in LA and I'm online, and Clark Eddy is sitting with Nigel Dick, who is this director who hates me, after I recut his Anastasia video and I recut his Cher video for Music's No Good Without You. Nigel Dick signed my CD from one dick to another. He and Clark are sitting there trashing the shit out of me, and Clark's going on publicly about my blog or something where I'm talking about my Madonna job and trashing me and saying how horrified everyone was and that it was going so fast and he had to do all this. You don't have to do very much at all. He swapped out a few slower kaleidoscopes in one section of the music. He turned it up and made it this huge drama thing, being this lunatic weirdo obsessed with me with this other director who's sitting there trashing me online. It was insane. Oh my God, why do I have this effect on people to where they just come for me for no reason? I really thought that Clark Getty had my back. Where's this coming from? It's insane. People secretly super deluxe hate me a lot. And I don't go around thinking people hate me. Maybe I should. It's when it pops up, it's shocking. Do you really not like me that much? I don't go around thinking, oh, they hate me, they hate me. I go around thinking people are largely indifferent about me, I hope. I ended up going to Friends and Family Night with my dad. He was visiting LA at the time. We got to see the whole Madonna Confessions tour with the Friends and Family Night. My dad was super proud of me.